Why are y'all hating on Donkey so much, man? Let my nigga grind, man.
Welcome to Big A Investigates here on a Thursday. Today we're talking about Dunky's new
I gotta get
video
right.
game publishing company. Yesterday, Dunky dropped this banger of a video announcing the following.
Introducing my new indie game.
This shit was very, this shit was crazy.
Big mode. To slam dunk soulless cash grabs.
Slam dunk?
This is what the video game industry fucking needed. This is gonna change it up.
Soulless cash grabs into the garbage and raise up the good games. Big mode is here. And the response was pretty positive. Tons of views, tons of positive comments, tons of Dunky fans coming out of the woodwork to say this is great. But those weren't the only responses. In fact, almost immediately, game developers came out of the woodwork to ridicule Dunky. LOL. Dunky starting a publishing company with the ethos, I have played so many games, I know what makes them good and bad, so I'll only publish good games. He's about to learn some stuff the hard way. Danny O'Dwyer, a man that I deeply respect, has done some amazing video game journalism and coverage.
What?
Hey man,
Isn't that
I
valid?
respect Dunky for trying to start a publishing business and wish him and his partner the best. But for fuck's sake, lads, it's 2022. We gotta drop the naive shtick that having opinions on games is a qualification for understanding just about anything about development. The development community seemed to think
He
this
didn't
was a
say
big,
he wanted
fat
to develop
joke.
it. He
And
said he wanted to publish it.
First roast of all came from Hard Drive.
All right, is that
Which
still
one,
the same
this one actually
thing?
kind of this one actually kind of hit. Dunky announces he wants to become a game developer, just needs coders and ideas, guys. But is there any merit to these criticisms?
He just wanted to be a
what
publisher.
exactly a game publisher does. Again, a game publisher is not a game developer.
Yes.
There's a difference, and I'm going to explain it right now.
It is a
game
big
publisher,
difference,
which is what Dunky is trying to do.
They just fund
does
them,
three
bro,
things.
and they help
Number
with
one,
that.
for the longest time, this is the most important.
Well,
They
Atrioc.
get your game on shelves. It means they get the discs made, they get it pressed, they get it put into boxes, and they put it on store shelves. Or if it's a digital shelf, they go and they sign it up for Steam and Epic and PlayStation Store or wherever else. They get it listed. That was for a long time the most important part of a publishing process.
Yes.
But in the modern era, this is becoming
Now they got to do
less and
marketing.
less important. Even on consoles,
It's more of a marketing strategy.
of all games are bought digitally. In a digital-heavy world, this is not that hard. It's not a hard task. It no longer requires logistics and a big staff and relationships with Walmart and Best Buy. It's all very simple. It's all very straightforward. And even I got a quote from Gabe Newell talking about this. Gabe Newell said, "The worst days for game development were the cartridge days for the NES. There was huge risk." By the way, look at Gabe Newell looking cute. You would have all this money tied up in silicon in a warehouse somewhere. And so you have to be very conservative in the decisions you felt you can make. You can only sign safe IP. You can only do safe art direction. Now it's the opposite. Retail doesn't know how to deal with these kind of indie games. On Steam, there's no shelf space restriction. We are no longer in an era where publishers offer much value in this area. He's not good at this, but this doesn't really matter. What's number two? Marketing. I chose this picture completely randomly. I just Googled marketing. Because the people that make games are not necessarily people that are very good at marketing them. Someone can create a very beautiful, awesome
You put
artistic
Atrioc
game, but they have
marketing. Stop. You put Atrioc marketing. Don't do that.
no idea how to get it played by content creators or talked about on social media. So marketing is one of the big areas where a game publisher, it delivers value. And the third thing is playtesting. Playtesting and quality assurance. If Dunky cannot do this thing, but this thing is no longer
But he could do these two things really well. It's video game donkey marketing your shit. It's Dunky. It's it's him. That's all I really have to say. If you're in the gaming community, you know who it is. And in him playtesting it, he tries to break the game all the fucking time. You don't see what he be doing in the fucking videos.
Real question of the day becomes, can he do these two things? And if he can, there's nothing stopping him from being a great game publisher. Let me give you an example of a great publisher. Currently, the leader in the space that Dunky's trying to occupy is probably Devolver Digital. Devolver Digital is probably the most recognized and successful indie game publisher. They publish games like Inscription, Fall Guys, Broke Force Space Plan, the Hotline Miami, Enter the Gungeon, Cult of the Lamb, They publish a ton of successful and great indie games. They do a lot.
Yeah, that skate
to
game is
help
gonna
get
be
them
fucking
more
hard. This skate game is about to be fucking hard. I can't wait for it to come
For
out.
example, for the game Card Shark, this game is a pixely, very niche game, learning how to cheat at cards in like 17th century France. Okay, for this game, they created a custom set of literal cheated cards, beautiful art, a real copy of the game. They sent it to all these streamers. I got one myself. I was very excited about it. They never played the game, so they wasted their money on me. But in general, they do a lot of work. They also host the Devolver E3 show, which for indie games is probably the largest way to get featured. So he is claiming he can do both these things. And in fact, he claims these things specifically in his video.
You need someone who can help you be seen.
Yeah, it's Dunky.
You need someone who can help you be seen.
It's him.
So he's claiming he can handle the marketing. He can help get the name out there.
I want Big Mo to act as my...
You're not only just him, but you're not thinking about the aspect that he could get mad other niggas in the community to support the shit if it's actually really good, bro. That's what's easy, bro. It's gonna be easy.
That I do not apply lightly.
And he wants Big Mo to be a seal of approval. He wants to basically ensure that once he's playtesting,
you just gotta make good games.
People who are buying can be assured that it has quality assurance. Like the Nintendo seal, a little more than that actually, because he's not just saying that it's like not buggy. He's saying that it's gonna be good. Dunky has gone one step further. He's basically thrown down the gauntlet and said that most games are dog shit, and the games he publishes will be good. What I would say to these people that are downplaying Dunky's launch here, all of these people in the older school mindset, is that he very much seems to be able to handle these things. Because the way that gamers find out about games is changing drastically. And creators are becoming more and more a one-stop shop or a key source in the way people find out about games. Exactly. And Dunky has a massive audience that really trusts him. He can get 5, 7, 10 million views on a video. Do you know how hard it is for an indie game publisher to get 10 million views on their new game? It's nearly impossible. So even though I do respect Danny O'Dwyer, this type of thinking is very rooted in the past. It's like a game journalist line of thinking back in like the early 2000s. Nowadays, publishers, even AAA publishers, are desperate to get creators on their side. And so having an indie game publisher with this level of access is amazing. Now, there are risks. And the main risk is that up until now, every opinion, idea, or fact that has come out from Dunky's channel, you have known has not been tainted by money. The second it's tied to his own financial success, that starts to get thrown into question. Now, he's got a very sterling reputation, and it's possible to navigate this, but it's also possible that it could torpedo what he said previously. For example, if he makes fun of microtransactions or loot boxes or anything like that in all of his games until now, and then he's got a game coming out that needs to do that to survive or needs to do that to make a healthy profit, and he's like, well, it makes sense here. You know what I'm saying? It cuts into what he's saying. So he's setting a very high bar that it will be difficult to navigate, but it's not impossible. And at the end of the day, the biggest hurdle that almost every indie game publisher faces is just getting someone to play and talk about your game. It's that we have thousands of games released all of the time. Everyone's attention is pulled in a million different directions. We're in the attention economy, and there is not many easy ways to get someone to sit down and listen. And Dunky is a massive mouthpiece that can do that. So I think rather than being at a disadvantage, he's actually coming into this ahead of almost every other indie game publisher. He's in like the top tier already in terms of marketing. Quality control, this is a different story, okay? Because quality control, he has set the bar so high that the games have to be good from the moment they release. And that is difficult.
I understand what kind of ideas always work, what ideas never work, what kind of ideas are fresh or need to come back, and what is extremely played out. For developers who want to go above and beyond and really deliver something special, I am the guy you want in your corner. For 11 years, I've been...
So he's played every game. He's talked about every game. He's got a deep idea of games. And again,
I thought it was almost
he has
done.
said, while he doesn't want creative control, he wants to be involved. And that is where it could go very right or it could go very wrong. I 100% think that playing lots of games is a major qualification to determining what's good in games.
No way.
Some of the biggest flops in gaming history come because they're designed by people that don't play games. I would much rather have Dunky deciding what makes a good game when it's published than, for example, This fucking robot, the CEO of EA, one of the biggest publishers in the world. You're in
What?
publishers. The average publisher has so many staff.
You don't
and so
play
many executives
games.
that never played games at all.
You don't even
So
play games.
it's not a far stretch. It's not a crazy thing. It's not arrogant.
This
to
guy
say
looks
because
like
you
a
play
gamer.
games, you
This guy on the screen looks like I look like a gamer. Atrioc looks like a gamer. You know
might
what
have
I
an
mean?
opinion on what makes a good game. That actually is one of the
Does that guy
greatest
look like a gamer?
intros of all. You know what's fun, but he will be lacking some of the reasons that developers make these choices. And I think just saying this part needs to be good is different than understanding like, okay, maybe this type of game only works if we add microtransactions or something to make it profitable. All of this stuff makes it a little more difficult than just saying make good games. That being said, it depends on how involved he's going to be. If the man is out there grustling, truly giving playtesting feedback, that's amazing. If it's very vague, high-level stuff, it's less helpful. But in my mind, if you really zoom out, it doesn't even matter. If he just didn't say that every game needs to launch fucking perfect, this part of it is not even that important. This is basically all game publishers do nowadays is marketing. And if Dunky can provide that in a way that doesn't turn his audience off, it's a great publisher. He's already ahead of the game. Most publishers provide you nothing and have bad contracts. According to Dunky's video, he has the most developer-friendly contracts in the business. And if that means they're getting an excellent split, he's helping with the upfront costs, and he's marketing the game, it's a massive win. So unless he's got 100 Thieves contracts and he's frostying them, I actually think this guy's got a pretty solid game plan here. You know, as much as some of these boomer takes might not admit it, I think the industry is heading more and more in this direction. I think whether it's Dunkies or it's Dr. Disrespects or it's, you know, OTKs or whoever, there's be plenty of failures. There'll be plenty of stumbling blocks. But I think we're trending more and more towards a world where creators, which have one of the biggest pipelines for audience, become almost a publishing arm for the games that are being created. It just makes more and more sense financially. And I think to not see that is to think we're still living in a world where you put shit on shelves. One of the main things Dunky claimed was that he can find good content.
Creators actually who game publishing the content.
Proof of that. But this is one of the creators of Celeste. I can't speak for the other games he mentioned in his video, but he found Celeste way before it came out, followed it for a year after, and made a day one video on it because he liked our demo. That's impressive. I still haven't played Celeste, and all my mods have been telling me to do it for a year and a half. It's one data point, but it's impressive. I don't think it's too far off to say that he's got a decent eye for this thing. The video, by the way,
Celeste is the single greatest video game ever created.
Yes. Look at what he did.
The video in question got 7 million views, but you can't tell me this didn't sell copies. There's no doubt in my mind.
It put me onto the game. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't even know Celeste existed, and then I figured out it was on Game Pass after when I got the fucking PC. I learned about it from Dunky.
But out of the gate, he's a big, respected YouTuber, and he gave it a huge glowing review immediately. Now he also gave it a 0 out of 5.
Deathloop is coming soon. Vigorous Land and Sluggish Sky.
So I don't agree with those arguments.
You know, I like to do my, you know,
that
I like to
he is
react.
way out of his depth. And I think that people that scream, "Oh, just an idea guy," are discounting the real, tangible benefits that he brings to the table. And I think developers are going to see it. I think indie devs are going to be very interested. I want to end my thoughts with a quote from the woman at Devolver Digital, the influencer lead, who sent me that package on Card Shark and actually has been awesome to work with. And then she works at Devolver, so this is a competitor to her. I don't know if Dunky's new indie game publishing company, Big Mode, is going to succeed or fail, but he's already generated more buzz for it than 99% of studios trying to do the same thing for way more money. And who can hate on more eyes and cash flow flowing into the indie scene? That's my thoughts. I think this is an awesome thing by Dunky. I think there's no reason to be a hater on it. And I wish him the best. I'm very excited to see what he's doing. I think of all of the content creator-based publishing platforms, this has been one of the most interesting. And I think he's earned the right to give it a real shot. So I wish him the best of luck. Good luck, Dunky. Godspeed.
Yes, sir.
Go Big Mode.
That's pretty good.